Well, for night number 4, I don't know. I think we may have some mixed opinions. I thought it was a great first set, really. And, the Ghost, starting out with a Ghost, you mean business. I believe it was the opener. Yes, yeah, or second song of the night. Yeah, one time in Vegas, like 2016, either opener or second song of the night, they played Ghost, and that place just erupted. So, being there tonight, that being the opener, I imagine once again, you kind of feel it a little bit on the couch tour, but not quite like I imagine it was being there in the arena. So, and it wasn't, they didn't just fly through it either. Everything kind of, a lot of jam in here tonight, but, maybe, I don't know. Some of it just maybe felt a little bit like a little on autopilot over here in the second set. But let's not get to that. Let's just stay here in the first set where, there's all kinds of great openers. I know nobody ever told me they could open with Ghost. They encored with it the last time they played it, I believe. So back-to-back appearances for Ghost in nice spots. And then they follow that up with a really strong Reba, the jam in that. Trey really feeling it. I was feeling it through Trey. As I clear my throat here. Let me clear my throat. So then, fine, and after this awesome start, I loved that. This jam was incredible. The peak in Reba. And then, Funky Bitch. I've been kind of neutral on Funky Bitch. I don't love or hate it, but I tell you, it did not hit the spot tonight. It was a little bit of a groan here on Couch Door for me for Funky Bitch. And then on to Timber, and second one we've gotten this summer, mid first set, slightly jammed out, but nothing too crazy. And then on to the new one for the night, Broken Into Pieces, yet again, more Mission Ballroom stuff. And this one, probably somewhere in the mid-range. Started out just okay. And then, as it went on, it had, there was a section there that was pretty cool. Maybe remember that song way back a long time ago? They played a couple times, as well as I think Tab did. Drifting kind of reminded me of Drifting a little bit, somewhere in that neighborhood. So we'll see. I suspect it's one that probably won't get a ton of stage time. And we're also dealing with a new Sharpie here tonight. If you're wondering, if you're noticing the thin red lines. Breaking out a new Sharpie for Broken Into Pieces and others. And then Wolfman's brother, man, that thing just can't help itself. Maybe when they came back after the shutdown and missing a lot of 2020, Wolfman's brother took a little while to get fired up again, but now that it has, the telephone ring in it was nice. It was maybe the most interesting jam of the night, I felt. The Ghost was cool. The Reba, the built-in jam in Reba was cool. But as far as them just spreading their wings and letting it fly a little bit, Wolfman's, I believe, probably won the night. And that's a bit of a rarity in the first set for that to be the case. And then ending with I Am the Walrus, one that we do not get very often. If we're going to go into a classic rock cover. And that one was very cool. So a very strong first set. Maybe one of the best first sets of the summer, if I can say. I'd have to go back and look at all of them. I know there's been some good ones. And this one may have been my favorite, though. And then over here, we get a sample in a jar. Maybe that's what it was. Trying to jam out, sample in a jar, opening up the second set with that. It's like, okay, I'm not a sample hater. This jam was just okay. Kill Devil Falls had that moment. Kind of had that soaring Trey moment, of course. And then Golden Age. I know all this just kind of faded together. Maybe Golden Age may have been my favorite of all of them. The duration, perhaps the shortest of the three. But, possibly my favorite. Although it didn't match the Wolfman's. I wouldn't describe it as interesting like I would the Wolfman's. Any of this. Although I will say one thing I wanted to say about the Golden Age and Shade. A lot of times it's easy to goof on, and I've been critical of Trey. This kind of modern Trey vocals fits well with Golden Age and then Shade especially. So if I'm gonna knock him, and then all right, Trey, it sounded well tonight, so I'll give him there. Give the old guy some credit there for his little wacky vocals that he gets into sometimes. It works well with Shade. And, a pretty big jam trio here. Although, I guess maybe just getting a little greedy. Looking for that big, 20 to 25, 30-minute one like we've gotten several times this tour. Perhaps that's what it was with the second set. I don't know. And then Sally and Twist back to back. It's just like, all right. Trey noodling around a lot in Twist. Sneaking Sally, this first one we've gotten, maybe the only one we're going to get. Could have got a little more of that. And maybe they were sensing it too, because then they're ending the set with YEM. And, the Trey the Trey solo in that was amazing. Kind of felt like Mike got cut short a little bit, jumped right into the vocal jam. And then vocal jam was a little bit, not a lot going on there again. Not that there ever is. And there for a while. Remember we got like a post jam after the vocal jam? Those were the days. Those 3 times they did that. So we just get pretty much the YM there to end it. And, even that, I love YM. Probably my favorite song ever by them. And none of this was bad. Don't get me wrong, but just none of it really got like, Reba. Like at one point, man, I felt it in my stomach a little bit. But Trey was killing it so hard in Reba. Then the Ghost, excellent. Wolfman's had a little bit of everything for us. Just kept going and going and going too, Wolfman's did. So maybe that was it, man. Maybe they ran out of gas over here. Maybe something this jammed them up a little. Kill Devil Falls was good. Got some Soaring Trey, Golden Age. Like I said, it's not like any of this. It wasn't terrible. This isn't Wilmington all over again, but even if a YEM set closer can't get me total fired up, something's lacking. And then here we pretty much get a third set. Basically, look at it. I thought maybe Wilson Sanity, but no. Little set 3 here. David Bowie sneaking in the Hall of Famer on us. Probably didn't, if we're going to compare Bowie and Reba, I think Reba won this battle. But look, if that was going to close the night or near close the night, we'll take that. And then Character Zero, that barely jammed me up on the whiteboard. Speaking of getting jammed up, ooh, barely fit that one in. Don't like that at all. Had a nice looking whiteboard going. It's now a little marked up in red and Golden Age looking solid, except for the G's. I feel like I got a strong G over here, but kind of botched the Kill Devil Falls. All right, let's not get into the whiteboard review. So I don't know. Like I said at the beginning, I feel like there might be some mixed opinions on this one. I did like the Wilson Sanity, and we got a boom pow in the Sanity. Of course, I like that. Anytime we get a boom on stage, I'm happy with that. Got a boom pow. Wilson, Bowie, 0. This was a great cover. All right, guys. Well, I think that about does it. Boom pow. We are out of here. Take one last look. I don't know. What'd you think? First set was better, right? Am I crazy? Third set might have been better than the second. It just turned into Yoda. It was weird. Pow.